go. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Forget those guys. Forget him. It's so nice to see you guys in the studio today.
We have an audience.
So great. Well, first of all, welcome. And welcome to the Sully Band, right? Good guys? Good to have you on. We have, so there's a story behind this audience, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They actually have a name.
Really?
But we'll get to that in a second.
Angry, ticked off because we're running late.
No.
What's the story?
Well, I guess I can tell you now. Those guys are P1 listeners of the show from Rock 105.3.
Wow.
And today, we have just one guest, or a couple of guests, because we have for the entire show, the show from Rock 105.
They're collectively called The Show.
Yes,
Are
The
you
Show.
Are you ready to roll? You
Let's
ready
do it. Let's introduce them. Ladies and gentlemen, she's the newest member of the show by way of Dippin' Dots. She's Kari's daughter. She's Reed's mommy. She's Robert's honey. Ladies and gentlemen, Emily Griffiths.
Yeah. Emily. Good to see you, girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's originally from Long Island. He started off as an intern. Now he controls the sound, the audio, the commercials, the music, everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Thor.
Thor. Good. He's all yoked. He's all yoked. Look at how freaking yoked you are.
What's up, Thor?
I tried.
Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's originally from San Jose. She's the first lady of the show. Just like Cher, just like Madonna, you only need one name when you introduce her. Ladies and gentlemen, Sky.
There she is. See you.
And now, he's a longtime radio veteran. He's the leader of the show. But more importantly, he's a Little League coach. Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Papani.
He's up there the whole time?
What are you doing?
We good?
We're good.
Guys?
Eddie!
Everybody good?
Oh, it's okay.
Checking the treble.
Oh my God.
The treble? What?
Back in the treble.
How's it going, guys?
Got a radio?
Good to see you. It's my second gig.
That's it.
I play oboe in the Sully Band.
The oboe. Okay.
It's air oboe.
You play triangle.
Yeah.
You play triangle.
Yeah, I bring it. I bring it.
Wow.
The best part is he's been up there ever since you guys walked in. He's been up there.
Well, you know, I mean, I had to check a couple of things and, make sure everything was COVID safe, but we're good.
Oh,
Oh, wait a second. I thought we had one more guest.
Well, we actually do. But before that guest,
All right.
I want to make mention of the people you have behind you.
Yeah.
Because when you think of the show, Rock 105.3, yes, you think of Eddie, you think of Sky, you think of Thor, you think of Emily, but you guys also have P1s.
Oh, yeah.
Explain what P1s are.
Good question.
Who are you guys?
Listen, we've had this name for forever. As soon as we started the show, I mean, it's been for a long, long time. And it's not something that we ever really talk about, to be honest with you. We just kind of have called them that. P1s means priority one. It's actually, you guys know, it's a radio term.
Yeah, it's a radio term.
And so
We have none.
we've adopted it. And so the audience kind of took it and ran with it, and they give themselves P1 names. And
Yep.
it's a whole
Really?
thing now, and it's just, it's a
Is it a
community.
little stocky? Like a little weird? Like
I don't know. Well,
a little weird?
I've seen her outside my window before. That's fine.
Little bit,
It's
little
fine.
bit.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good.
That's so cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for P1s.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, in all honesty, Sully, these guys are maniacs. They are the best audience in all of
They are.
radio, man. They follow us everywhere.
Sure.
And it doesn't matter cast changes and anything that happens, they're always with us. So we love
They got
these
our
guys.
back.
You know what's great is that every time you've been on with us,
Third time, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Yes, that's right.
Bragger.
I think you're the only three-timer.
Me and Shotgun Tom.
Shotgun Tom's here every year. In fact, he should be here any minute.
We're radio legends. I'm not gonna lie.
Radio legends?
Well, yeah. I mean, but I should be in the Hall of Fame. No offense, Tommy. I know you are. But you know, someday,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Hold on.
I'll get there.
Here it comes.
I gave him the chance to whip it out.
Oh, there you go.
And it's always good when a guest says he gave Tommy the chance to whip it out.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
saying.
Emily, we've been there.
Just
before,
calling balls and strikes here.
But I am excited. We are excited to have you guys here. This is the very first time an entire show has been our guest.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Isn't that
It's,
cool?
We're
actually,
honored.
it's the first time we've ever duped an entire show and
Wow.
coming in at once. We
Yeah.
said,
And it's Saturday, June 12th. And so many things are opening up. Isn't it so cool?
Yeah.
It's wild, man. We were just talking about that on our show about how it's still weird to try and go do normal things. And
Yeah.
it's like, wait, what do we do now? Do we hug? Do we handshake? Do
Right.
we fist bump?
I do all of it.
Yeah, you little elbow smash.
I'm doing a leg hug. I'm doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Making out with people down the street.
Let me ask Sky.
Yeah.
Sky, what's it been like for the entire show since March of 2020 when all of a sudden you had to broadcast from, I think, Eddie's house?
Eddie's house, yeah.
From today. How's it been?
You know, it's been weird. I mean, nobody expected a pandemic to break out. We didn't have a pandemic plan
Yeah.
for our show. But the fact that we could go to Eddie's house, and honestly, if the four of us are anywhere, it doesn't matter. You know, we could be in the shack, we could be in the radio station, we could be on the street corner, we could be here on air with
Yeah.
you guys.
Right.
And as long as we have the four in the same room, we're good. We can roll, we can bring the funny, and we can, you know, touch base.
Well, and you guys did too. I remember listening to you guys from Eddie's house just because I wanted to see if it sounded like it was at Eddie's house.
Yeah.
Did you guys, Thor, did you have to fight Eddie's? Because Eddie's got his own stuff at his house.
Yeah.
Was there like a thing where, like, look, hey, Eddie, sit
We
back
did
on
have
the couch.
We did have a chair
There's a
that
chair.
we all fought about
I
pretty
have
hard.
two recliners.
Two
Yeah.
recliners.
Obviously.
There's four
Of
of us.
course you
There
did.
was a chair.
Obviously, I'm going to get one of them. So every morning, those three drew for who got the other recliner.
Who got the
Yeah.
recliner.
Every morning.
Yeah. And
they
if you
would
didn't have
fight.
the recliner, you just sat on the floor. It wasn't right.
But wait a minute.
Yeah, it was
It wasn't right.
Because now when you're in the studio, Thor is like, he's like the traffic controller.
Yeah.
What was it like when you didn't have to do that?
Oh, it was great. Actually, it was great, but then I was bored.
Well,
because I
he
wasn't
wasn't
doing
paying
anything.
attention.
Yeah.
That's
And I don't pay attention sometimes when I run the board, which isn't good. That happened today, actually.
Facts.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
you know, it's fun. Eddie, I'm pretty in sync with what Eddie's going to do, so I feel like when I'm not doing something, it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there. But.
Well,
We're
it's great.
synced.
It's great to have all you guys in here, and obviously, notably missing is Rusty Nails, who's, by the way, up in Portland, Oregon, visiting his granddaughter without permission.
Oh,
He's getting written up. But other than that, do we have a special surprise for the audience? And because you said today opens the fair.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yesterday, the San Diego County Fair Homegrown Fun,
Yes.
presented by the San Diego County Fair, opened. And one person that is huge, that is kind of like the ambassador of the San Diego County Fair, is Chicken Charlie.
Come on.
watch.
Chicken Charlie. There he is. Chicken Charlie. Look at it.
Chicken Charlie.
Good to see you, dude. Come on.
Dude, this is
really here.
beautiful.
Wow.
Hey, be careful. He's going to fry that microphone.
He will.
You watch.
2020 new
right.
fried microphones.
Hey, Chicken Charlie, question. What's new at the San Diego County Fair with what you bring to the fair? Because I know you always
Okay.
have a new item.
Okay, so a few days ago, I took a perfectly beautiful brownie, fried it in batter, which is something I've done in the past.
knew it.
But I wanted to up the game, so I dipped it in buffalo sauce
Stop
and
it.
topped it with ice cream.
Come on, you can't teach that.
Madness.
When did you come up with that?
Fried buffalo brownies with ice cream.
Is this the year?
Nut job. It's delicious.
Charlie, is this the year you're going to carry the grilled fish taco or maybe the fruit platter?
Grilled
something
fish
like
taco.
that? Right. Any
if we dip
any
it in-
salad items? Asking for the band. Just asking right now.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, this is great. The San Diego County Fair is here. We got some new items. We got lumpia with ice cream. We've all had French fries with ice cream, I think, most of us.
Does everything have
Now
French
it's-
fries with it?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a must.
All right.
Hey, let me tell you something about Chicken Charlie. During the pandemic, you know, all the restaurants, everybody that were food servers were struggling. You were struggling through the pandemic, but you always gave back to the community. Every time I saw something about Rady Children's Hospital, it was like sponsored by
love
Chicken
Rady's.
Charlie.
Yeah.
How did you get through 2020?
Well, you know, God made us resilient. So we've gotten through a lot of things in our past, but it's just another one. I think we're all going to come out of this really, really strong. really good.
Yeah, but as a business guy, you pivoted in really the right direction. I mean, you know,
Yeah, I mean,
pandemic
we're
was a
blessed.
horrible
I mean-
thing for restaurants. So you actually did come up.
We adjusted and we did it,
Yeah.
and we, you know, when we were able to do the to go and we didn't have people sitting inside, we did that, and we thank God we were able to do the booze to go. That was fun.
Fried booze, fried
Who
tequila.
doesn't?
Yeah,
Fried booze.
but no, I mean all of us
Fried booze is my gang name.
fried booze. I've gotten 2 ideas since I've been.
Hey, so when you enter the San Diego County Fair, you know, before 2020, you would walk through the main entrance, and then you would go down where all the, you know, like the swap meet people are selling license plates and stuff, and then you would make that right, and then that's where you would be. But I know it's a smaller venue now. Where are you?
It's a smaller venue. It's a little less food stands, but there's still a lot. There's 40 plus food stands, and we are in the middle of it. So it's hard to say like you're describing because that main gate is not there now. So you're gonna have to come in a little differently. And when you go inside the fair, go to the center of it, and you'll see it.
Boy, don't you have like the 6-story thing with the?
Yes, that's what I mean. If
Don't
you
the
look in middle,
airplanes
you'll
line
see
up?
the 6-story.
Yeah, Kevin.
You'll see
Doesn't
the flag.
Lindbergh line up to the Chicken Charlie stand coming in? To
The
San
American
Diego?
dream, baby.
It's the beacon.
The higher
He'll
the
fly
better.
that plane.
He will.
Don't mess with Charlie.
Well,
Don't land the plane over. No, I mean honestly, it's the American dream. The higher the better. I love it. We're doing it.
we love to see your success, dude. I'm not kidding.
I'm blessed.
Last of all, before we get to that, we're going to let you out of here. Just asking for a friend. Who is your best employee ever?
My best employee ever.
Do you remember?
On the spot.
Come on.
I've had 400 every few months.
My daughter's first job was at Chicken Charlie.
I love it. I love it. You know, it's been one of my greatest honors because we've had a lot of 14 to 18-year-olds. Just like
Yes.
right now, we have a lot of teenagers that come and work there. They get the work permits. They come, it's their first job. And they want to do good. They want to impress. They want to impress themselves, their boss, their family. It's like their first job. I love that.
Yeah, right? No, you know, these are the type of jobs. My daughters learned how to go to work at places like that because we wanted them to go to places that were face forward with the public. I mean, you had to work the cash register. You had to make eye contact with people. Like when you're 14, 15, 16-year-old, the last thing you want to do is make eye contact with an adult who's ordering a double Krispy Kreme with 3 chicken patties.
When I was 14, I walked through the O'Brien gate and I asked the first guy I saw for a job, and I got a job there. Now I'm still there.
Yeah.
But I did it like your daughter. I'm still there.
Fantastic. Come think about it. Chicken Charlie, ladies and gentlemen. See you, buddy. We'll see you this weekend.
Tommy, awesome. I love the show.
Good stuff. See you, brother. Good to see you.
Awesome show.
Charlie.
Man, that got weird, huh?
Yeah, you know, I was going to ask him, hey, you having trouble hiring because of the expanded minimum wage benefits?
Yeah.
And I was leaving away.
Always
He said-
finance.
He walks.
All right.
All right.
Let's go back to the show.
Yeah, because what was the first day like? Like the very first day. What did that look? Did it look like this?
No, it didn't. You know, like Thor was actually an intern on our show for a couple of years, and then became a cast member, a regular cast member. He slid right in, and then Emily has joined us about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yes, my
and
4th year.
That literally was so seamless. It's crazy. When
July
that happened.
2017 to be exact.
Oh my.
Whoa, stalker.
Stop.
That's a little.
Tommy.
Yeah, what do you like a P2 or something over there?
Because we got blown out June 2017. We were on the same show together.
Oh,
And so-
they fire you? Or something?
I didn't know.
No, I started at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I started January, I thought. January.
Yeah.
But what's it like for you, Emily? Because you're the newest member of the show, going on 4 years.
Yeah.
How has it been? Because I know you're big fans of the show, and then now you're on the show.
Yeah, I used to listen to them when I was driving in to go be on Jeff and Jer, honestly.
If I could only
And I
be on
remember
the
loving what they
show.
were doing.
I know you.
And I love what I was doing with you guys, but they were just so different, you know what I mean? And that was awesome.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to hear Eddie say that it was seamless, me joining the show, because I'm
He's
a
just
ball
being
of
really nice.
anxiety.
He's just being really nice.
It was not seamless to me, but we got there eventually, right, Eddie?
Yeah.
Because you guys,
Eddie.
well, all four of you are producers of the show.
Yeah.
How is it like for you? Because that's kind of like your title. You're Emily and you're / the producer. How's it?
Yeah, Emily, tell us all about it.
You know what? Eddie's very, very hands-on, and so
Which is kind of
likes
awkward.
to do. Well, not really.
Controlling then,
Then hand
Well,
Oh, both. Okay.
I'm cool with it. Eddie likes to do a lot of stuff. He really does. But so I appreciate that I don't have a crazy amount on my plate, but I'll get in there once in a while.
So
Make things harder.
yeah, hey.
I remember every morning in that building seeing you walking around with a big stack of papers. Now, have you been there the whole time? You've been the entire time, right?
Yeah, so Eddie and I moved from the Bay Area to do mornings here on Rock 105.3 in 2004, and we have been in the morning slot ever since 2004, which for people outside of radio, you're like, oh, that's a cool, long job. But if you're in radio, you know you don't stay in one spot that long. So the fact that we've done mornings on Rock 105.3 for that long is just amazing.
And here's what it's like being in the building, when you're in the building with all these radio stations like DSC and The Show and Jesse and Jeff. What was the program? What was the thing? Jeff and Jer.
That thing, yeah.
And then you're on Kogo. It's like I'm in the science department.
Yeah.
I'm like running a freaking lab over there. And you guys are you guys going on this roller coaster outside. Michael Bolton walks by. Russell Crowe's in a freaking gladiator thing. And who walks in our door? Gavin Newsom.
Well, tell us about that, because being on Rock 105.3 and being one of the top morning shows, not just in San Diego, but throughout the country, you get to interview a lot of great people. I think you introduced Ozzy on stage once.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. After the break, can you tell us about that?
Other than us, your favorite person to interview.
Because you were sitting on stage with Ozzy Osbourne.
It was pretty cool.
Tell us
Speaking of Ozzy Osbourne,
Yeah.
That's Rolling Stones. That's right.
this is why I'm on A.
Yeah.
We're not playing like some, Barry Manilow today.
No,
we're playing.
bringing the heat.
Didn't James East, our music director here, 3 Grammys, 4 Tonys, are we staying in order? Inspired Positive. He put together this list because he knew Rock 105's on it.
I love it.
Right? How many times have you ever played that song at Rock 105?
Not once.
Thank you.
All right. But you play Ozzy Osbourne, right?
Yeah, we do.
And about a year or two ago, I saw you on social media sitting on stage with Ozzy Osbourne. Can you tell us about that?
It was pretty wild. I mean, you want to talk about a surreal experience, sitting next to the Prince of Darkness and having a conversation with him, which I had so much anxiety going into it. Not because I've interviewed tons of people over my career, so that didn't worry me. Just I was so freaked out. Am I going to be able to understand him?
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Luckily, he was very lucid. He was very coherent. And we had a great conversation, and man, it lasted about an hour.
Yeah.
It was up in L.A.
What was the event again? What was that for?
It was just an iHeart event, where it went out through all the different rock stations throughout the country. And it was just me, David Draymond from Disturbed, and Ozzy Osbourne just talking it up.
Right, and that was it.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
Well, he went over like his career. It was kind of a retrospective of like his entire albums and careers, and we would play like different songs from him, and then he'd tell me like what he was thinking when he went, and did this song. It was one of the coolest experiences ever.
Was Sharon with him?
Sharon was there.
And was she like controlling everything?
She was in the back. She, it's like kind of like a puppet thing where she kind of puts her hand on his back and moves him around.
Did she tell you not to make eye contact?
Yeah.
Was there any
Stage over here. Okay. I mean, it was wild.
So a little inside baseball for these guys, and they may already know already, but I always wondered how you guys prep the show. Tommy and I get on the phone about 5 minutes before.
Sorry, prep what?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Like, is there any major is there a big show calendar that goes out there and says, for the month of June we're going to do this, or is it really what time is it? We're on the air in 5 minutes.
No, it's really neither, which is weird. So we prep a lot and we meet a lot, but it's not like we're planning these wacky yuck bits, Really, the majority of our daily show, the yuck bits,
We yuck
Yuck's my favorite.
Well, we have a small amount of yuck. Okay, I'm sorry.
Jeez.
So, but really what our show is based around is stories from our lives. So we'll powwow in the morning, what happened to you yesterday, and then also we'll get together and go over all of the news every single morning, like hard news, entertainment news, wacky news, all of it, and then we'll just go around and be like, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? And because
What a cruise job.
well, because if we don't want to talk about it, then why would someone want to listen to
No,
it?
absolutely.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Right.
we're just kind of real, and that's how we do it.
So are there certain things you said, you know what, let's not touch that? You know,
We used to not say that, but then we got into an interesting political climate, and
Yeah.
we found that you could not say anything right, no matter like.
or left.
Or left.
Well, okay. But I mean, you can't even make a joke about something without your boss getting called. So we're like, well, what's the point in that? So we just stick to things.
We're
that,
about fun.
yeah, make
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
funny.
We're about having a good time.
Yeah.
When you get together with your friends, do you guys talk just politics?
Well,
I mean, that's why you have no
Not
friends,
usually.
Sully. I mean, sorry.
Sorry.
I
but
built
yeah.
a studio so I could have friends.
And so we want to keep it light, keep it fun. When you're driving to work, I don't want to sit there and think about, oh man, what's going on in politics? Like, that's not me.
Yeah.
And so if our audience is in that same boat, let's talk about what happened on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Eddie.
By the way, this just in. I have to get paid to talk about politics.
Yeah.
I don't talk about politics up
It's
here.
tough, man. It's tough right now.
Now, with an ensemble show, Thor, you are in control of the clock, right? Are
Well,
you?
Eddie kind of controls when we go in and out of breaks. I just listen to him and play music.
And so, as you're controlling the clock, do you have a timer on yourself? Like, how do you know when to? Okay, this is done. Let's move on.
I get in trouble a lot because I don't care. Honestly,
Always a great reason.
If
so true.
things are fun and I'm having a good time and we're talking about something cool, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll just keep
Right.
going. And if not, I mean, I have a basic time in my head, and I also have an internal clock. I know you guys have
Yeah,
that too.
right.
Of you're like, okay, this is going on a little bit too long. Let's go to commercial or whatever. So
Switch
it's
topics.
one of those things. Yeah.
I got a question for both of you guys. So as you guys step into this thing, and this is an iconic heritage brand in San Diego, and all of a sudden you realize you got to pull the covers back on your personal lives. How tough was that?
For me, it was easy because I'm a pretty open person.
Yeah.
as
Well,
it is.
too open.
Yeah, it's true. So like, and honestly, I grew up listening to sports radio.
Yeah.
So I never heard of the show before.
And your accent's from where?
Long Island.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Long
so-
Island. Yeah.
Hey, forget about
Exactly.
it.
So like, it was just.
Did you ever go to the Amityville Horror House?
I didn't. I'm from Suffolk County. That's in Nassau.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
come
I
on.
know about it. But I know
Everybody
about
knows
it.
that.
But I know about it.
Are you of the Jim Tan Laundry Church?
No, that was pre-me. I was
Okay.
in the G Unit. Sean John thought I was a gangster. Let's watch 8 Mile thing.
Oh wow.
Early. That was mid 2000s.
WBAB?
What's WBAB?
All right, it was a radio station.
I know like BL. I know like Hot 97, BLI, or Z100. That's what I grew up.
It wasn't hip hop. He wasn't listening.
Exactly. WFAN, another one. So like when I got on the show, I'm pretty open as it is, so I wasn't really intimidated. I
Yeah,
just
but
talked
you
about it.
were, but your family, your
That's a good point.
girlfriend,
What?
things like that.
What?
They have to get used to
They
it.
got used to it. Yeah, and I lost people I was dating because I wouldn't say their name, but I would talk about my dating life on the air, and they go, "Why don't want you to do that?" And I go, "Well, then we can't date." And
Wow.
That'll be the end of it.
So when you would say something, would you get a phone call on your cell? You know?
Oh
someone
yeah,
saying,
I still do. My mom and dad text me. I go, what are you talking about? That's my dad. My dad.
what about you, Emily?
I have a problem with sometimes opening my mouth and admitting things too soon and too fast. So like Thor, I've always been an open book, which gets me in trouble and makes me, sometimes look not great or sometimes makes me look really real, you know what I mean? But coming from Jeff and Jer, where you guys talked about my personal life a little bit, but not some of the edgier, the more edgy, dirty stuff about my
Man, have
personal
we
life.
discovered a lot.
Wow.
yeah.
Well, let's get to that. Let's get to that.
Let's peel the onion.
No, that's not.
All right, on the air. It's on the air. We got the show and audience, and we got a live studio audience. live studio audience in here, and thanks to you guys. P1s, you guys, we're clapping.
Give it up for the P1s. Well, give it up for the P1s and my friend Anita Bartram. Anita Bartram, give it up for Anita.
You notice how Anita's up in the club?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
VIP.
She's in VIP.
That's up in the club.
Hey, Rock 105.3, the show is here for the entire show. You guys are on top of the mountain with morning radio, not just in San Diego, but all over California and the country. Isn't that so cool?
Yeah,
I mean, how does that make you feel?
Amazing. I mean, like, honestly, like we were talking about in the last break, we're just so ourselves and talking, and we get lost because we'll get angry at each other and start screaming that sometimes we forget people are actually listening. So when we get the ratings and we're like, wow, that many people are listening,
Yeah, right.
you know, so it's really fun and neat to see.
Yeah.
And speaking of people listening, is it a trip when you go out in the public, go to the grocery store, and then someone says, "Oh my gosh, Sky"?
Yeah.
And they come up to you. I mean,
It's a
how does that
double-edged-
feel?
Well, it's a double-edged sword because what I get all the time is, "You don't look how I thought you would look."
How do they think? How do they think you look?
Is that a compliment? Is that an insult? I don't know what you're saying to me, but I just say thank you and move along.
So we've all been in radio for a long time. Remember the days when you didn't get recognized because there wasn't social media, and if you were at a sushi bar, that was the spot. They say, "I know that voice. That's Sky." I didn't realize you liked a scallop hand roll, and you look nothing like you. Do they ever tell you that I thought you had blonde hair? I thought you were 7 feet tall. Was it just?
No, I mean, I'm glad they're not saying. I don't know if they think I'm more attractive than they thought or less.
How could they? Come on.
I don't, but, and then they also say, I'd recognize that voice anyway.
Sure.
Well, that's true.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's true.
Sky.
Compliment?
I think it's a compliment.
Thank you, Sully.
I think it is.
Wherever you get.
Really?
Say, wait a minute.
I'm surprised this table's still intact.
Jerks. Really?
Hey, do you guys remember the very first time you opened the mic? Let's start off with Emily. Do you remember the first time your voice was on the radio?
Like ever, like even considering Jeff and Jer?
Yes.
Well, do you remember the prank you guys pulled on me? That was the very first time
What was it?
I have ever spoken into a mic. I had just started on Jeff and Jer, and I've always been a ball of anxiety. And I was just helping out with web stuff and computer stuff. That's how they hired me. I wasn't necessarily planning on being on the air.
Yeah.
And Tommy calls me into the main studio and goes, "Hey," he goes, "come on." He goes, "I want you to come in and help us talk about this event we're planning." And we were talking about it on the air. I was super nervous. He gave me some copy to read. And so all of a sudden, one by one, they start leaving the room to go to Tommy's production studio,
by the way.
where there's a mic
That is a
on.
brilliant bit.
I love this.
There's a mic on in Tommy's studio. So one by one, they're going in there, and listeners can hear them laughing. And then they all leave me alone on the air. I'm by myself.
Did you run out of
going-
script?
I ran out of script, and I go, "I'm not sure what's happening right now." So yeah, May 17th is the event. I'm feeling sick
you
to
have
my
to-
stomach now.
When you put Emily on the spot, she rolls really well.
Hey!
The best.
Great with it.
All right, Thor. Now, Thor, you come from a sports background.
Yeah.
Do you remember the very first time that microphone?
When I was on the air, I'll never forget it. I pitched an idea to the show about me being paralyzed when I was 16.
To this show.
To this show,
yes.
and it's a true story. Obviously, I'm not paralyzed anymore. And
'Cause you're a
it's
gangster.
America, exactly.
Yeah.
It was a shooting. No, it wasn't.
No,
but,
it wasn't.
But I just had this crazy medical thing happen. Long story short, that's the first time I was ever on air with these guys, and I was really nervous, but it went well. I thought.
Wow.
Clearly,
Well, you're still there.
And yeah, they just made fun of me. They don't believe that I was paralyzed.
That's really the secret sauce, isn't it, Eddie? Just make fun of them.
Now,
So easy.
Okay.
What?
now, Sky.
Yes.
Before the show, you were on the radio for years. Do you remember that very first time you opened that mic?
I would like to say I could forget, but these guys here got a hold of those air checks.
Where was it? Wait, I gotta hear this.
And so,
Where was this?
Phenomenal.
So I was up in the Bay Area working for a cluster of rock stations out of San Jose, San Francisco, and I was so proud. I got my first overnight, middle of the night shift.
Awesome.
So I made air checks of the whole thing, and like an idiot, I told Eddie about it like a decade ago.
You found it's like fine wine. It's like fine wine, isn't it?
Great stuff.
For 15 years, we've been playing these things like nonstop. I mean,
Great.
her as a DJ is just crying.
Where's
for
you
me.
boss jocking? Hey, everybody. It's
No,
Scott.
actually, she wasn't. She was just atrocious. And so it was so good.
It's fantastic.
Man. It's so good.
Wouldn't you love to have Eddie as a program director? Here, let's replay this.
Yeah,
Let's
you're
replay this.
you're
Let's replay this.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So yeah, get to relive that every day. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Now,
Yeah.
Eddie, now where did you grow up?
I grew up in Gilroy, California, garlic capital.
Garlic
of the world.
capital.
Yep.
That's what's up.
Economic impact. I'm sorry. I won't-
Fantastic, thank you.
Yeah.
But my first radio gig was in Rochester, New York. Don't ask me how I went there and everything.
Were you
but-
fleeing California?
No,
Ended up back here?
listen, I was 19. I just graduated high school. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I actually thought I was going to be a cop. But I mean, I had no
Really?
idea.
I've
Yeah,
never heard that
I know. I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Wait a
I was
minute.
about to go to my junior college because I didn't know.
Which is high school with ashtrays back
Seriously,
there, right?
I didn't know. And this radio network in Rochester was hiring for every position. Like they were hiring producers and writers and all that stuff. And I go, that sounds cool. I applied. Somehow I got the job, and I've been doing it for almost 30 years now.
It wasn't with Brother Weeze, was it?
No, I know Weeze, but no, he was in the same city, but not on the same.
What brought you out to San Diego?
So I went from Rochester, got fired there, and then came back home.
Got fired there.
Got fired there, and then came and started working at KCBQ.
Wow.
Yeah,
with
baby.
Shotgun Tom.
Hold on.
Shotgun
Hold
Tom.
on. Here you go,
There you go,
buddy.
baby. You better believe it, baby.
You better believe it.
And
So you went to that iconic
the
building?
legendary KCBQ in Santee.
Wow.
And I was working there, and they put me on in the morning, and I did a bunch of characters and wacky bits.
Who was the morning show?
It was called Royce and Mike, and then Royce and Denise, and it was, we were around for a cup of coffee, but it was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what you don't know is where Emily started in the building, but not in the studio, right?
Oh.
Your first job in radio.
Oh gosh.
We gotta talk about that coming up. On the air, it's on the air.
On the Rock 105.3.
Exactly. You guys may or may not know, Tommy's a Hall of Fame radio producer. Do you guys hear that?
I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
I have a certificate of appreciation from 6th grade up here somewhere. But we do have sort of a big announcement because just this last week, our technical director, Jared Coleman, won, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, Emmy Award on this program. Get out here, Jared. Where is he? Is he coming? I am. Where's Jared? I don't know how he's going to direct and actually be here. But he can come out and accept the Emmy Award. But yeah, this is kind of a big deal.
That's amazing.
Wow.
There he is! Oh, look, hold on. Sky, do the honors, please. Sky, do the honors.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Jared Coleman, ladies and gentlemen. Well done. All right.
We did it. Thank you.
All right, we have the show from Rock 105.3 here. It's been a great show.
Boy, without any pomp and circumstance. Okay, yeah, that's great, Jared. Go back in. Now, enough about me. What about you guys? What do you think about me? All right.
But we have some P1s here.
Yeah.
Give it up for the P1s.
Yeah, I love it.
You know what? We thought it would be a good idea to ask them some questions. We don't know what the questions are
We're
going to
doing
be.
an AMA.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's,
go ahead, Andy.
let's do a
Andy
question.
Coleman over here.
No, meet and greet, babe.
I like
Right
this.
here.
All right.
Yeah, get him up in the light, Molly. There we go.
All right.
Woo.
What's your question, sir? What's your name?
I'm Travis.
Hey, what's up, Travis?
How's it going? Thor,
Uh-oh.
what was going through your head both times when you chickened out at the bungee jump?
Get Charlie back out here.
No. So I didn't. I was supposed to bungee jump for one of my first bits ever on the show, and
Because you said you
I
wanted.
said I
You
would.
said you
I said I
would.
would.
Yes.
You don't need to get angry all
Well,
over.
you know.
We've been through this, and I got all the way up to the top, and I got in just scared to death and was frozen in fear. I've seen people that happen to people,
Yeah,
and
sure.
I'm like, no way, that's fake. It's fake.
Yeah.
I couldn't move.
Yeah, of
I
course.
was frozen in
Yeah,
fear.
because why would you do that?
Yeah,
Well, there's
and
no
I
solid
came-
reason to do that.
And then I came down, and the second year I was like, I could do this. Now I know what to expect. And the second year we did it, and it was the same thing. I didn't even hesitate. I was like, all right, I'm done. I can't do this.
Really?
Bring me back down.
It's great radio, guys.
Something funny?
Yeah.
My fiance actually was listening to me not bungee jumping the first time and liked the show because of that. and then we met on Instagram, and now we're engaged and getting married.
Yeah.
That's it.
So it all
Everybody
worked
loves a
out.
coward.
So it all worked out.
Why would you want to go out with him?
She thought it was funny.
Because he's sensible, values life.
Chicken.
All right. What's your name?
I'm P1 Angela.
Is that on your driver's license?
No, it's really Angela. But I called in one time and they said it, and I was like, wait, is that from Jersey Shore? Then he reminded me who's the boss, which I watch
Angela.
all the time.
Angela.
Angela.
What's your question?
My question is, who's been your favorite person on the show? Just kidding. Who's been your favorite person that you've ever interviewed?
Oh.
Well, I would have to be Sully of the Sully Band.
Damn right. Come on, let's light this candle.
The guy brings it. The guy brings the heat. He brings the heat.
Stop it.
Yeah.
By the way,
You've been on the show a couple of times.
but I've been on every show in this town. Do you know why? It's when the market's crashing,
Wow.
or we all think
Wow.
we're gonna die. It's
Yeah.
never,
Yeah.
hey Sully, tell me about your career. It's always, hey, can you explain an NFT?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I still
But
don't
is
know.
there a favorite celebrity that have
Gosh.
come to the studio?
For me, we did it in January. My idol growing up, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No kidding.
It was the greatest
That was
moment of
pretty
my
cool.
life.
That was pretty
So,
cool.
but that's just, I mean, you probably interviewed.
Well,
millions of
Eddie's,
people, you and
one
Scott.
of his favorite interviews, one of my least favorite interviews, Ted Nugent.
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Isn't he the greatest?
Oh, he's
no,
so
he's
funny.
not Sully.
Wait.
No, he's not.
You know what?
Bow-toting, meat-eating Ted.
Going with Queen Lib over here. They did not mesh. They did not
We
mesh.
didn't get along.
Yeah.
Was it in studio?
I bet not.
No, the first time it happened was over the phone, and
How did it end?
Ted may or may not have said some very bad things to Sky.
Oh, no.
Horrible words.
And but we had him on again, and the same thing.
Of course,
happened. So,
naturally. Let's bring him back.
As a
It was
kid,
hysterical.
growing up in the 70s, Ted Nugent was everything. Then all of a sudden, you don't hear any Ted Nugent on the radio anymore.
No, and you
Because
never
of-
will.
yeah.
Well,
Man.
and it was so weird because he was so mean to me. He legit called me bad words that you
Really?
don't come out of your mouth. And but then he had a concert in town that night, and our promotions crew came back from the concert with a handwritten note and autographed guitar pick saying, Ted wanted you to have this. He knew you'd really love it.
Yeah, Ted.
Grinding the screws.
Like,
I love it. I
dude.
love it.
Like,
Oh,
what?
man.
Yeah, it was a moment.
Yeah, you guys, at this point in your career, Ted Nugent's in town, you could ruin that whole concert.
Oh, yeah.
If we
Right?
want to.
Come on, you wield the power, man.
There you go.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a second.
I want to ask Emily that same question.
Oh.
Who's the best celebrity you ever met?
Are you awake? Are you okay?
I'm here.
Yeah,
Marlon
Well,
Wayans.
Marlon
said
Wayans.
same
Marlon
question.
Wayans.
Marlon Wayans.
Oh,
has to be your
don't
favorite
do this.
interview of all time.
You guys.
Tell him, Emily.
Oh,
I'm not a great interviewer.
No.
I don't normally.
I disagree.
I don't get in there often with questions. So that's
What
not my,
happened?
Write the questions down.
that's not my
maybe?
specialty.
Beforehand?
But a few weeks, I want to say even, or maybe a few months after I started, we had Marlon Wayans come in studio, and
Great guy.
I loved In Living Color. That was my favorite show
Sure.
with my sister. We watched it every time it was on, and so I was so starstruck to meet Marlon Wayans. And he came in, and towards the end of the interview, I asked a really hard-hitting question that I wanted to know, and I asked Marlon, what was it like sitting around the table at dinner with your family?
And Marlon stops everything. He goes, I can't tell you how many times I've been asked that question.
Well, and then they
Every
all start
interview.
laughing.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, Emily.
So we're all embarrassed.
I wanted to know.
Basic question of all time for
Hey,
a Wayans.
oh,
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
it was bad. It was
great.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Did he answer?
He did, but I mean,
Mocking Emily.
he went on for a good 30 minutes.
So
Yes,
turned
they had
out
fun of me.
great.
He hugged me afterward and was super sweet, so we made up
Awesome.
for it.
Yeah.
It was super awkward.
Super awkward.
All right. I have to know if there's ever any super crazy fighting that goes on right before you go on the air, and you got to put on a happy face. That's coming up next. We have the show on the air.
Let me run with you tonight. I'll take you on a moonlit ride. There's a girl I used to see. She don't give a damn about me. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels. You don't know how it feels.
Can you guys give it up? James, I didn't even know you. I've done 1,000 gigs. I didn't even know you could sing. That was fantastic.
That's the first time.
Wow.
Awesome. Okay, so in radio, you're together a lot. As you guys know, these guys are family, because you guys really are family. That's honestly.
Yeah.
But there's those times when you get into a little pissing contest, right? Happens to all of us. So, I can tell you in talk radio, especially when I was across from, a person that didn't agree. I mean, it's this. Here's a little bit of. We had rare footage of my first thing. It was it.
I don't ever want to see it again, ever. And if you don't do it, you're fired.
So, was there ever a time when it got a little weird, but then you got 45 seconds to pull it together and get on the air?
Ever a time. I mean, every morning. I think. No, we learned early on, especially me and Sky, that we handle business after the show. And so if there's ever a disagreement, we always talk after the show, because if you do it during or before, it just kills the vibe in the room, and it's just brutal. But there will be things that come up while you're on the air, and it hits somebody wrong, or they don't like that you said that, and then mics go off, and you just sit there, and everybody's in silence, and you go,
so true.
"Who's gonna say something first?"
so true.
And then finally,
You're like your
we've
phone.
gotten to the point of where we go, "All right, mics are back on, we're fine," and literally we're joking around again, and all is forgiven.
Right.
How many years you guys been together?
Me and Sky, 20.
Okay.
We are. I mean, it's crazy to say, but we've been together for 20 years. And then Thor joined about 10 years ago, and I've known Emily forever, but she joined the show 4 years ago.
And because of that, you guys have been through so many, probably marriages and breakups and births and everything.
Oh, Sky and I
Is
were
there-
married once.
So many marriages.
When you, but you have personal,
couple breakups,
you have your personal lives.
Yeah.
But when you walk in and you may be depressed driving in and, just thinking about, your family and life, isn't it so cool you have that studio to go to? How does that feel when you can just, I'm here?
I don't know, Thor. How is it? You're the joy and ball of light in our lives.
That is true. I am the least morning person out of everybody.
Yeah, he's
so I've
on
had
a morning show, but he's not a morning
Not
person.
at all.
Grouch.
Not at all.
You don't
And
even talk to him
No.
until the mic's
until
Like
about
at all.
Explains
5:58.
so much. Sitting in the, like, hey Eddie, hey Sully, hey Sky, hey Sully, hey what's up, man? Yeah.
Hey.
Thor. Yeah.
What
bro.
time do you get to work?
5.
What time do you wake up?
4. And then I
But no,
I
what
really
time do you wake up?
at 5:59. I used to wake up about 6:45, 7, and then that had to end.
You have a lot in your
So
fingertips.
yeah, but I get what you're saying. Recently, my dog passed away.
Oh God, Thor, why did you bring that up?
And
right.
I was really, really upset over it. Still am. And coming back in the studio and hanging out with these guys was the first time I talked to anybody, because I didn't want to talk to anybody, and it really helped.
Yeah.
It really helped get my mind off of things for a little while.
Please don't cry again.
Now, being in radio for so long, you guys probably had, carts and maybe records when you first started,
Reel.
and then it went into like DVDs and now
CDs.
now it's all on this.
Yeah.
What do you think about radio today?
I mean, listen, we do our thing, and I honestly, and I don't know about these guys, I don't pay attention to anybody else.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ever be compared to anybody else. I don't want to listen to other things that go, ooh, maybe we should do this. We just do our own thing, and it seems to be working, and so I honestly don't know the state of radio.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't listen to other shows really, because I don't want to steal what another person does and try to copy them. So a lot of the stuff I listen to is basically sports stuff. I don't listen to a lot of other.
What about podcasts? Ever do a podcast?
we have a podcast. Yeah, we have
Quite
a
a few.
podcast.
We have a podcast network,
got
actually.
a podcast network.
And that is part of radio, because
It is.
I always
It is.
tell people radio is bigger than ever. It just looks different, and there's so many things.
Right.
There's podcasting, there's social media. All your social media pages, in my opinion, is radio.
Yeah, the way people consume the show now is mind-blowing.
Right.
We have our entire show every single day. It's on demand, and it's available on our free iHeartRadio app. Where's my camera? So, you can listen to the show, and that's how people like to consume it. And then we do an after show, which is called our P1 podcast, which is bananas. It's off the wall. It's uncensored, and so that thing's crazy. And so, it's fun. I mean, Thor does a sober podcast about celebrities who've gone through sobriety, which is really cool. It's
How do people
inspiring.
listen? How do people listen to that?
Same thing. Just type in the show presents on the
right on
iHeartRadio
there.
app. And
Yeah, it's really
our whole
cool, man.
podcast network is right there.
Yeah.
iHeartRadio is the biggest media entertainment company in the world.
There, he knows what he's doing.
Wow, wow.
He knows what he's
Another hot
doing.
plug.
So, Thor, so you bring up your sobriety. on
Yeah.
it. I think that's so cool.
Thanks.
How
Yeah.
many years?
14.
Jeez.
14. It's
Yeah.
pretty wild.
I have an announcement. I've been sober for 70 days.
What? Is that for real?
Not in a row.
Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure.
Total. Since the beginning.
Emily has no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. Right on, Sully.
Hey, is it true, Emily, that
Oh, no.
that you used to work at Dippin' Dots,
Oh,
and then all of a
no.
sudden you
Yeah,
got
come on. Tell us.
Is that a true, or is that like a myth?
No, I mean, I was working at
Who would
Dippin'
make that
Dots.
up?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
Not
Would
me.
you ever make that up?
First
Not
line of your resume.
No, I worked at Dippin' Dots, and then I ended up looking for a job as like an office person, and it happened to be at a big radio station.
Yeah.
And so I went from Dippin' Dots to the radio station.
Were you a good receptionist?
No.
I
Yes.
don't remember you being good.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Is
feel
there a
like I
better
was really
word for
good.
receptionist? You know how they used to be? They used to be called stewardesses, and now they're called flight attendants.
Yeah.
Is there a better thing for a receptionist? Because that sounds. There's got to be a phone answerer.
Call attendant?
No, yeah.
Call attendant.
No.
No, what
Nailed
year
it.
is this?
No, I'm good with reception.
Hey,
Front
before you
office.
guys go, what are you looking forward to promoting this year? This summer, any big events coming up? What are
You know,
doing? Or-
we're just now coming out of this thing,
Yeah.
and so we're taking a deep breath. If we're gonna go, we're gonna go big, and we want everybody, all our P1s, to be there. And be
you guys got
involved.
a gig.
And
Got
so,
a gig.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
For a viewer watching you for the very first time, how do they find you on the radio?
Rock 105.3. You can find us, like I said, on our free iHeartRadio app. But we're there 6 to 10, Monday through Friday.
What's the website?
Rock1053.com, baby.
On social media, what are you?
It depends which one you go to.
All right, and-
Twitter, at the show, Eddie, at
and-
the show, Thor.
Shout out to Reed. Shout out to Robert. Reed, what up?
P1s, everybody. Thank you guys for coming. See you next week.